Perfect. Okay, so we should be good to go. Brad, Damien, Jamel, Josh, Mark. Great to have you guys on. This is what I want to see every week. At least, 5 guys on. That's how we get progress made. And see, what's up, man?
No, you can't see me. What's going on? What's happening?
Hey, you saw the amount of people that we got on? It's gonna be a good one.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, so let's do
Um,
a progress check.
hey, listen. Hold
Uh
on.
huh.
Check what's up with Fred. He needs to be on this call. Did he
Yeah.
say he was going to make
Let
it
me
or no?
text him.
Hey, Valentina, are you gonna record?
I'm recording.
Okay.
Give me a second. Let me text. He said families arriving shortly for the weekend. All good though.
All good.
So
Let's go. Let's get it started.
I haven't been active these past weeks, as you guys know. I moved to Utah. I already got a spot. I already got my desk set up. So I'm ready to go. Now, as of myself, just been studying valuations. Ansie's been keeping me up to date in regards to the progress. Damien, congratulations on your capital partner. I spoke with Mark yesterday. He's doing great, and I was reading what you posted, Jamil. You're doing great as well. So there's a little progress recap on how you guys are doing. So let's go from the bottom up. Mark, tell me, how was your week last week? How's it going?
Good, good. Just to recap what kind of told you, I'm still interviewing M&A directors, and like you said, they're asking a lot of questions about financing. So, I started to use your script with one of the guys I had to interview. Um, yeah, he was. I was just honest with him, blah blah blah. I said what you said. And he said at the end of the call, he's like, "Sure, sure, I'm interested." He got more straight to the point, so that script
Done.
was really effective.
Perfect.
And in terms of just my deal flow, I got the financials, like you said, the 2019, 2020, 2021 P&L. All of them are monthly base, so you get to see each month. So I sent that over to Anzi and just you recently. So, and I had my discovery call on Thursday, and near the end of the call, the owner is interested. He'd like to have another call. Yeah, that's basically it.
Perfect. So, guys, in regards to financials, for us to take a look at them, we're gonna need 2019, 2020, and 2021. The latest month you can get profit and loss statements on a month-to-month basis. Because they usually issue a YTD, which is basically the overview of the year. We're also gonna need balance sheets. If they got cash flow statements, that's great. Usually they don't. Only larger companies, but you can always ask. And tax returns for 2019 and 2020. If you got those, we could do a proper analysis. We don't want to leave out any details because one detail can make or break a deal and your offer. So, Mark, great progress. I'm glad the scripts worked. Keep pushing. I'm going to take a look at that deal later today. I was busy yesterday. Josh, how's it going, brother?
And
Say that again. You broke up.
here.
Yeah, I got you. Tell us about your progress last week.
Okay. So I went ahead and had like 17 interviews, a bunch of CEOs and CFOs, trying to find out who was a good fit right now. I got it narrowed down to about 3 CEOs and then 2 CFOs and whatnot. So I'm next gonna be looking at getting some. We're gonna post up a few investment bankers postings on LinkedIn, probably on Monday. So, and then start getting those rolled up. But yeah, I got a lot of pretty good feedback from the guys. So, like during the calls, I noticed that like either they know what the fuck I'm talking about, or they have no idea what the hell I'm doing, which means they don't. Obviously, they never had experience within the space. even though the resume said they did. So, but I was able to peek that throughout the process.
Great, you're doing well. So let me ask you, in regards to getting board members, are you using ANSY's LinkedIn recruitment system?
Yeah, I am.
How's that working?
The like a fucking charm, bro. Like there was two guys that two what was it, two CEOs that wanted to do an in person meet, dude. I didn't pay. They ended up paying for like the dinner and drinks. Like,
Oh
like
shit!
I,
Hey, they whining and
bro, I
dining you
literally got like,
already? Damn. Okay.
yeah. So I had a, so I like, I know we have like our executive summary and whatnot, and you know it's supposed to be like, you know, a few pages, but on the side I have like an executive outline, which has like like my personal um, valuations, SWOT analysis, and all market analysis, like kind of like a
Yeah.
side
Yeah.
thing. So when I get CFO, I can just, hey, this is what I did already. Can you build on top of that and shoot from there? But I kind of like came through some of the stuff with some of the CEOs and shit, so they were kind of impressed, and they ended up just paying for the meal and shit. I was like, oh fuck,
Perfect.
yeah,
Hey man,
it's
come on, we
crazy.
got the best system. ANSI props. This fucker discovered it by accident and it works.
Hey, look, we'll tell him about some of the level of guys that you've been getting.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable, on like unreal. Like some of these guys, like, for example, one CFO worked at Playboy. He was like the treasurer of Playboy. The
Ah
other one
shit.
was a CEO, which he actually bailed at the last minute. It was his name James Rosebush, whatever. He was a White House official in the
Right.
Ronald Reagan
Holy
era
Yes.
for
shit.
the.
Even if he
So I'm
built
still
though, being able to connect with a person like that, come on, dog. You get what I'm
going.
saying?
Yeah.
That's
So
perfect. Beautiful. Let's get that board
yeah,
done.
crazy.
Let's get that team done, and let's go after some deals.
Also, I had a question. The wall. I noticed that a few CFOs are like asking for kind of those pro formas thing. So, I mean, we can't really do those until we get like the P&Ls and statements, right?
Yeah, Josh, you hear me?
Sorry, cut out.
Yeah, do you hear me,
Hello?
bro?
Yeah.
Hey, you were talking about they were asking for pro formas.
Yeah, pro forma. Don't really need that until we get like P&Ls and things that because we can't get them.
Right. So, in regard to performance, just like you said, it is based on the deal you're analyzing. And remember, anything that is on the future is based on its past. The past predicts the future. So essentially, we want to figure out what is a cash flow, what's a true cash flow, meaning taking into account is there any contracts that's going to expire this year that we cannot renew, and is that going to be a loss of cash flow? Because if so, you don't want to perform with that, because that's non-existent money. So essentially, the performers are simple. They're automatically calculated in the financial calculator. You just plug in the current financials, perform with that bitch. Then we could do a DCF
Okay.
model if you want to do a DCF discounted to cash flow, discounted to equity. We could get the equity value of the business, all of that. But just let them know it's based on the business we're analyzing. And you could just say, we look to find out the intrinsic value of the business. I mean, what is this cash divided by risk? What is true and current? And then they'll know, what the fuck you're talking about, because a lot of people don't know how to value
Okay.
businesses. But you should be good. Simple as that. It's on the deal.
Okay.
Now, Jamel, how's it going, brother? I want to make us a little recap of what you wrote today and your progress from last week.
Yeah, For the life of me, I don't remember what I wrote today. You mean about the pitching to the board and sellers for the?
Yeah, you were talking about we
Yeah.
pitched it covering the board and sellers. You said the deal we're negotiating 200K, unlevered free cash flow. His hit is in the 500K point in terms of value. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, for sure. So that's just a smaller HVAC guy. Not the greatest run thing, but his value is not massively off from where we had value in mind, anyways. But we're able to kind of move him around a little bit, and he's just he's one of those guys as they are in home services where they don't understand advertising, they don't understand marketing, so we just leverage the backgrounds, right? I pretty cockily tell them, you put me up against any other marketer or sales guy that you meet, and I'll crush them flat out. And that's what our system is
That's what's up.
meant to do, and that's what I just hard sell them on is that you're plugging into something that will beat out the big boys, public companies. Doesn't matter, just because they're going to have to spend 100 to 1,000 times as much as we do for every minute and every dollar of effort that we put in comparatively. And then we just we embellish a little bit with the idea of AI and everything. It's AI, but it's not as complicated as I make it sound. But
Right, that's your value add proposition.
Exactly. Yeah. So we hammer home on that, and just get them super excited about the idea that their employees are going to be safe, they're going to be solid, their company is going to 2 to 4 times with our recruiting engine as well as our sales and marketing engine, and we just sell them on that idea of what they're going to exit for later. So by 60%, and our goal is that we're going to pay you about 2 times as much as we do today for that remaining 40%, but you're just going to have to hold off for a couple of years.
Oh, so you're making them hold equity?
We're making them hold it with a purchase option.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever you're pitching the future, you want to let them understand that is in the future, that is not going to be taken account into the current offer. But if he retains equity, he could definitely cash in on it. And my line is, I like you to be a part of the future growth without being a part of the risk, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to make them understand that because you're assuming majority equity and you're assuming the cash flows of the business, that makes you responsible for covering expenses, paying debts, whatever, right? So basically, he's being a part of the growth. He's receiving his salary. He has his equity. And he doesn't have to go to sleep worrying about payroll next week. So that's the bigger thing. You put them in a lot of these guys, remember, they work in the business instead of on the business. Though they do have the knowledge to become the CEO and run as CEO for that company. Of course, you have somebody else to oversee them, but you can sell them a leadership position and be like, we like you to work on the company instead of in the company, and we're gonna handle all the minute details, the micro side of things.
Yeah, 100%. And just the quick recap end of it, we're still waiting on shareholder agreements and all that. We're just going through the iterations. But we did, I think it was 4 or 5 NDAs this week and 5 or 6 new discovery calls. So we have a really solid pipeline that's going to be aimed to close this year.
Beautiful. No, man, I don't know what this fucker does, but he gets like 7 deals a week. Good job, Jamil. Ansi, touch on what you texted me, bro.
No, I was just saying, Jamil, it depends on your team, I guess. But my team, we don't like to keep a seller on for 2 years because the way our investors look at it is like, why in the fuck do you want this guy to be around for 2 years? It's one, he benefits from the growth of the company, which it's not really fair to you or your team. 2, you're not confident or you don't trust the capability of your management team. So it depends on your team, how they see it, how your investors feel about that. But us, honestly, we push for an 18-month. I mean, my team has been advising just a 12-month transitory period. After that, they can go fuck off, right? Because all the growth that we're going to put into it, they're going to benefit. And what you were mentioning, I mean, it'll work great. You could do a simple, I mean, in layman's terms, you could do a earn-out situation because holding equity, they could hold equity, but earn out is basically it's the same exact thing. But I just want to touch on that. Keeping sellers on for more than 2 years sometimes may not benefit you, and again, it depends on your team how they feel about that. But us, it doesn't make sense for us to keep a guy on for 3, 4 years, even if he's like, "Hey, I want to grow this company with you." No, no, thank you. No, thank you. Get out of here. Do something else. We'll send you your payments. You'll get that. If we decide to even have some kind of agreement after he leaves the company, we don't even want to keep paying the seller after he's no longer dealing with the company at all. He's gone. We have the growth. That's what we're focused on, and he can go. I don't know, fuck off, do whatever. But I have to keep saying that depends on your team how they see it and your investors how they feel about that.
For sure.
So I just
Yeah,
want to
our
mention that.
setup is mainly so that we don't need to go to a bank yet, because we have yet to have to go to a bank. So it's just pure seller notes effectively all throughout.
Mhm.
And then we're just holding them in there for long enough to bring in like a general manager or something to be able to handle it all. So it's purchase option with a forced sale at the end of the 5 years, or whenever we decide effectively on the forex on an annual basis. We have a decline option, and then we have the ability to kick them out whenever we need with 30 days notice. So we can always recoup that salary, but we're leaving it in there mainly because we get them on whatever's like absolute garbage salary they've been paying themselves.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So if they're at like 40 grand, this particular one's at 40 grand a year and he's taking dividends, it's like, great. Well, we just get rid of the dividends and they're at 40 grand a year to keep running it. So it works for the time being, but yeah, for future ones and especially for the bigger ones we're looking at, it just won't make sense. Just a
Nice.
stopgap.
Right. And candidly speaking, we're not dealing with banks over here either.
Yeah.
And that's why again, I have to congratulate Damien for completing, well, not completing, but getting his capital partner, and he's going the fund route. I tell people you could exit a lot quicker with a fund than dealing with banks. But yeah, I'm not dealing with banks either. Not right now. I just don't need to. Not that we're doing 100% seller financing plays. It's just that getting the capital is a bit more easier from the investors than the banks having to tie your soul to it.
100%. 100%.
Okay. Go ahead, Valentino.
Let me circle back on some negotiation situations and something I spoke with Mark yesterday. Now, I'll always say I never negotiate on price. I negotiate on terms, because terms set the price. The first conversations I've noticed when you start talking about numbers, that's when it usually goes south. Why? Because you end up playing the pawn shop model. Oh, I'll give you 500. No, I want 650. No, I want 700. No, more I could do is 600. And you start nickel and diming each other. So what you want to do is talk about the structure and the situation. Like, hey, John, if you were looking to sell this business, would it be something more of retirement? Is it a time constraint on your end? Do you have nobody to pass it down? You want to maintain the legacy of this company? Are you looking to grow and expand it, but you don't currently have the resources in place? So first, bring up the topic of sell. Once you figure that out, figure out his current situation and circumstance in his personal life. What I mean by that is, does he have the time necessary to put into this? Is he looking to retire? Is money currently an issue that he faces? Or does he have money that he could leverage and he's not really worrying about that? Because that takes into effect if you're going to do all upfront payment or if you're going to incorporate some sort of seller finance. Now, though a lot of these business owners have never sold a business or never thought about selling a business, they don't understand the structures, either financial, legal. And something I always touch on when it comes to seller finance or bringing up the topic is usually they're looking, motive of sale would be time constraint. Motive of sale would be expansion. If it's money, they want everything up front, right? But if it's expansion, I do a portion of seller finance and I do a portion of equity hold. If it's time, I'd bring those two up, but it'd be more seller finance. The reason is, and you got to understand, when you're negotiating and you give somebody an option or you put something on the table, you got to explain your reason behind it, your why. Why are you doing this? What's this going to benefit me? Never talk about how it's going to benefit you. Talk about how it's going to benefit them. So in regards to seller finance, there's various ways you could approach it. One is explaining to him how it works. So I had this situation where I was essentially pitching seller finance, and the guy was saying, so essentially you're using my business cash flows to pay me. And I was like, well, if I'm taking over the business, is now my cash flows. But let's circle back on something. Do you know how banks make money? And he's like, well, they make money by lending money. I'm like, right, they make money on the interest from lending money. So when you take a seller note, you're essentially becoming the bank. So essentially, I'm holding a loan with you. So not only are you receiving principal, which is the amount to be paid, due amount, but you're also receiving interest. And the great thing about it is, and this is something else you want to bring up, capital gain taxes is about 40%, give or take. When somebody's seller finances a portion, they're getting paid over a period of time. The payments get broken down. So essentially, it gets taxed as income, which lowers its tax rate. Now, when somebody is looking to retire, I always bring up the topic of a retirement plan. Think of it as a retirement plan. You know, say you're looking for $5 million up front. Well, if we take everything into consideration, our DSCR, this and that, say we can only offer him 3. But from 3, how much is he really getting? He's getting like 1.8. 1.2 is going in taxes. So what you could say is, John, let me ask you, do you really need $3 million right now? And also your take home is only 1.8. Did you know that? And he'd be like, what? So you'd explain it. Well, due to taxes, and this is case scenario modeling while negotiating. Instead of saying 40% capital gain tax, say the number he's losing, the dollar amount he's losing due to taxes. So if it's $3 million he's taking, well, you tell him, well, that's 1.2 million you got to pay in taxes, which means your take home is only 1.8. Did you know that? It's a larger number, though it hits him harder. So what you could do is, well, John, let me ask you, do you really need $3 million right now? Could you be able to do something with $1 million? Of course you can. So say you lock it in on $1 million. Now that's your down amount. Then the rest, you'd break it down over a period of years, say 5, 7, 10 years. And then you say, well, you know, the other $2 million over 10 years, you're getting about $200,000, give or take, plus interest, say $250,000 a year. You're getting $250,000 a year for the next 10 years. Is that something that's reasonable? Does that make sense to you? Fuck yeah. A lot of these guys, and I've noticed this, even $5 million revenue businesses, the owners are barely making 6 figures. Say 110, 120, 130K. So for them to receive $250,000, $300,000 annually, getting paid month by month for the next 10 years, that's better than any real estate property could ever offer you. It's just clean money. He's not paying no property management, no tax. Well, he is paying taxes, income taxes, but he's not paying maintenance. After taxes, the rest is his take home. So bring that up. Now, there was a situation with Mark yesterday. If you could touch on it briefly, Mark, about this guy, this business owner. He's looking to pass down the company to his son, though he is interested in speaking with you about a sell. Can you touch on that a bit?
Hello?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, he kind of said it briefly, he wants to have a call next week. Just try to bring his son on board onto the call and see how he can get involved in the business. So,
Okay.
it sounds kind of like he doesn't know how he want to transition it for his son, but
Right.
that's kind of what I think.
When somebody has a plan and a structure in place, they're not doubting. From here, I see doubt. Just from this little data, and I'm assuming, always you want to cross-reference your assumptions, check them. Like Derek Chevalier said, basically check your assumptions and presumptions. But essentially, I'm seeing this guy, he's looking to retire, if I'm correct. He has a son. He sees that his son might be capable to take over a company. He doesn't know how. So, a lot of these guys, if the son is to take over a company, they're usually college graduates. They got an MBA. They graduate. They got knowledge. They don't have the experience, though. So one way you could approach a situation like that when the owner's interested to speaking to you is when you have the son on the call, you want to ask him, or you could say it's something like this, I'm paraphrasing. You'll be like, hey, say the son's name is Derek, the father's name is John. Hey, Derek, so John, your dad told me he wants to pass the company down to you. How do you feel about that? And then have him speak. You want to ask emotional questions so you could bring out emotions. You want him to show uncertainty in his ability to take over. And say he is certain. Say he is confident. Say, well, yeah, I've spoken with my father about it. He wants me to take over a company, family business. I just graduated college, business admin, finance, all this great stuff. And you tell him, well, that's great. And then you go back to John, the father. John, can you recap very briefly on how did COVID affect your business? Well, we lost 40%. Well, let me ask you, John, how many years have you been operating this company? Oh, we've been operating for about 10 years. What's your son involvement in this company over that 10-year period? Well, he's really not been involved. He's been studying. Okay. Derek, your father's been operating this company for about 10 years. Though he suffered 40% loss due to COVID, it was a pandemic. It was unexpected. A lot of businesses did. How would you approach a situation like that? Because you still understand we are in a pandemic and this government can shut the economy down again. How would you approach a situation like that if it occurs or arises in the near future? And then have him come up with a fucking solution, which he won't. He won't be able to. So now he showed his inability to perform during difficult times. So then you could recap on your team. Well, Derek, John, glad to have you both on this call. Let me recap on who we are, what we're doing, just so Derek gets a view. Well, we're an investment group. We're looking to essentially establish a one-stop shop in the Los Angeles region for doctor offices. So we're buying doctor offices under a name brand where we look to maintain a level of operation and service where every patient that walks in, either to a large facility or a smaller one, knows they're getting the same treatment, which is of the highest quality. With that said, we know that there's a lot of small mom and pop and independent medical shops, and that creates confusion in the market. So if there's a brand where people can trust from conception of life, which is birth, to the burial and death, well, we got a system that works. With that said, Derek, and then you come to a son again, what future plans do you have for this company? Let them talk about it. And then that's where you'd come in. And then you'd be like, well, Derek, I see you're ambitious. You got plans for a company. You're looking to grow and scale it. Do you have the capital to do so? He's not going to have the capital. Unless he's fucking Bill Gates' son or somebody. By that point, they won't even speak to you. So he won't. He's ambitious. He's looking to grow it. Now you tell him, well, we're in a technological age, and taking into account we're in a pandemic, there's other companies like yours that have been affected, and those are companies we're going after to incorporate into his model. So what we could do, Derek, because you lack the knowledge and you lack the experience, though you have the knowledge. And then you come to Josh. Derek seems like a good leader to be in this company. You could offer him a leadership position, grow within the business, of course, under your supervision. And then you pitch your team. Well, our team, we got accounting, we got a CFO, we got a CPA, we got these guys who've been there, done that, so and so. So, Derek, what we could focus on is after this transaction goes through, and always assume the future. After this transaction goes through, I'd like you to take this position. What salary do you have in mind? Start making the fucker think about it. What salary do you have in mind? What do you think is a good base for you, Derek? Oh, well, I want 6 figures, this, and that. Sounds great. Look, what we could do also is, because our plan is to go after other companies, if you could assist us with that and you could bring other businesses or business owners that are interested in partnering with us, you could get an equity portion of each deal. and you do understand for the next 7 to 10 years, we're looking to take this public or sell it to a larger entity. That means whatever equity you hold will get multiplied, say by a base of 10 times if we don't incorporate technology. And then start going through your shit, and then these fuckers are like, whoa, what the fuck? So Derek's gonna see you're not leaving him out of the picture, you're not demeaning him. You're just saying, look, right now you don't have the capabilities, but with our team, you'll be able to do so. Not only that, you'll be treated fairly. And then you're assuring the father on his end, the father seeing your vision. He's seeing not only do you have the vision and a plan, but you're capable to execute it with the team you have, and you have access to capital. And that's how you lock these fuckers in. Comments or questions, Ansi?
Nah, not much, not much. I'd have to get a little bit more insights, but you covered everything because you called out his assumption. Especially, I mean, it sounded like bullshit to me anyway. He wants his son to take over, but he's willing to speak to him. I've never had a seller, say anything like that. Even I don't know if you remember the deal I had, Valentino, with the older lady. She was like, "Hey, you should meet my granddaughter."
Oh,
Her
yeah,
daughter
I
didn't want to
remember.
have, and her daughter is a doctor. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't want to have anything to do with that. But it's always bullshit when stuff like that
That was the
happens.
first thing. That's why I said the first thing. Well, Derek, I was speaking with your father. He says he wants you to take over a company. How do you feel about that? Get him to speak. You know what I mean? Get him to
Yeah,
speak.
definitely. Yeah, stuff like that. It's well, I mean, in my sales experience, the any big ticket sales is never about the number. It's going to be an emotional sell, and on that level, you absolutely need to you need to pull at his heartstrings. You know what I'm saying? You need to get at the emotion, the depths of it. And you make them realize a few things, and hey, you're off to the races. Like I said, it's not much that I have to add into that, unless I've heard the conversation myself. But you're spot on.
So that was a whole fucking scenario created in my mind just from that data. Like I said, guys, if you got a deal and you need help analyzing the deal and coming up with a pitch, this is what we fucking do. We just
Hey,
need
hold on
two,
one
three
second.
points of
One
data.
second. Hey, Mark, I'm sorry. What was the asking price again? Did you guys get there?
No, not at all. We were just, my industry expert was just asking him questions.
Wait, no, I'm saying like overall, since you've been engaging this, because I've been waiting on these financials for a while. You guys never got to the point where the
The other
seller.
owner.
Yeah.
No, not yet. Not really yet.
So this is just basically like it's just up there. He's like, hey, is he expecting a number from you, or did you ask him at all? Is there what's I don't know. How did you approach this? Because when you came here, I believe you already engaged this deal, correct?
Yeah. So, the first call I had with him, I just asked him, you know, we're looking to offer 3 to 5 times earnings. Would a
Right.
number like that interest you? And he just said yes. He didn't
So did you
say
ask him his revenue, his yearly revenue?
Not really, not on the first call.
All right, cool. Okay, so uh, what I'm going to do is when I send these to you Monday afternoon, I'm going to send you a complete analysis. Like I said, we already covered it, but I'm going to give you the WAC analysis, unlevered free cash flow, and all that stuff. I'm going to give you the company's enterprise value, so that you'll know exactly what you pay for it. Me, when I do my analysis, the last deal we walked away from, the guy wanted, I believe, 4 million total. It was gonna cost us about just shy of 8 million for the total acquisition when you take into account working capital and some other stuff. Enterprise value of the company was only 7 million. I will not make an acquisition where we have to pay more than the enterprise value of the company. It just doesn't make sense. We walked away because of that. Now, another factor when we analyze our deals, and anyone who send me deals to analyze, this is the one factor I'm going to always add into that. My investors, well, this is what we offer, a minimum of 35%. If I look at a deal and that shit is not at 35% return, I don't want it. I don't want to deal with it, because we want to be known to not only, yeah, we do deals, but hey, these fucking guys here, a minimum 35% return. But also we can, sell our leads off to other guys who, oh, hey, we have a 25% return on this deal. You want it? Yeah, here, buy. You know, we don't deal with that. So if I look at your deal, I'm going to automatically apply a 35% return to your investors. If you want a lower return, it's going to be more favorable for the seller because you're going to be able to make the acquisition closer to the price that they're looking for. So another deal I just analyzed, they were asking for 5 million. Medical staffing deal, 5 million, which medical staffing did great throughout COVID, by the way. You guys should know that. That's one sector that it's fucking exploded. But they were asking for 5 million when we did the evaluation and the analysis. I came up with, for a 35% return to our investors, we need to get that deal at 3.5 million. Now, obviously, there's certain ways we can structure that to make that work. You know, so I'll be meeting with the seller next week. That being said, I'm going to analyze your deals at 35% return to your investors because you're dealing in alternative investments. If you do not want that, you have to let me know ahead of time what return you're looking for so that I can apply it and make the numbers come out. Now, that being said, this should teach you why valuation is bullshit. Because what I just said, you tell me what percent, what return you want, and I will make the numbers work. You hear that? This is why I always say valuing businesses is extremely biased. Tell me how much you got paid and who paid you to value the business, and I will tell you exactly what the numbers will come out to. Just like a seller, they will want the highest number. Us as a buyer, we want the lowest number. So you see, this is why it's like at the end of the day, it's all bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's gonna have their own value, but just tell me what return you want, and I will apply that to it, and I will tell you exactly what number you could offer, your maximum allowable offer to the seller. And if you find out exactly what they need, like Valentino was saying, hey, what is your bottom line, basically? What do you need to absolutely walk away? This is a tactic I used in real estate for years. Hey, what do you absolutely need to walk away from this deal, right? Your very bottom line. Well, I mean, I wanted 5 million is nice. Of course, the wife could, you know, she loves 5 million. It's better, more attractive. But what do you absolutely need? Tell me, Paul, what is it? Well, I mean, we're fine. We're not hurting. It's just, you know, if he fucks up and say anything, he's done. You know, but that's your game. In sales, negotiating, you don't ever mention the number first. I don't care. I will sit there on the phone silent with you all day. You know, you name your price, you lose. So I will give you your evaluation to where I will maybe give you 3 numbers you could offer, and I'll get with you on a later call. But I need to know what return you're looking for your investors. And if you don't know that, you're an alternative investment. You should be your worst case scenario should be 30%. Your worst case scenario, and your base case should be 42, 50, whatever the case is. I don't like dealing in best case because that's just the way I like to look at things. But yeah, you'll have those analysis. You'll have the analysis over, and it will be extremely in depth. You'll know exactly what to do. Because when you're valuing a company, it's 2 things. It's not just numbers. You have to know the story of the business itself. Because the business, it's more so the story that, you know, tells what the business is about. Really paint the picture. You look at the numbers, that's just one thing. So valuing a business completely, there's 2 sides. Well, there's 2 things that has to be met. The story and then the numbers. So sorry about that long rant, guys. Send me your
Oh, it's
deals.
okay.
Send them
Please send
in.
me your
That's it. Just
deals.
send them
Oh my
in.
God.
Flood
Send me the
them.
deals. Dude,
Just
we're
like
paying
Bill
for,
said,
listen,
I can't
hold
get
on.
enough of them.
Yeah, look, Valentino, what is it? 8K a month, I think?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're paying $8,000 a
Fucking
month to get
K.
your fucking deals valued. So
All
send them
types of
in.
stupid, listen, guys, and we're not using them. Please send us your deals. We will fucking help you not overpay in many ways, but you will have a in-depth valuation, not only from me, obviously, but from my team, my investment bankers, and other people that's in my network that is extremely close to our company. That's what I'm saying. Send them to me because everything that comes in, we check them shits.
Yep.
You know what
Not
I'm
only
saying? I
that, we're
don't.
basically getting you an investor, a deal that could be funded essentially.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think like that's kind of like a double-edged sword because of that, it takes a lot longer, you know, to get you something out because there's been tons of leads that came my way, and I'm like, I'm not sending this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody wanted, you know, someone to send them just hey shitty leads, and the person don't really know if they want to sell or not, yeah, anybody could do that. But because of the approach that we take, to the way that we do things. It's a bit slower, but the thing is, dude, that shit's extremely targeted. You know what I'm saying?
Yup.
So, like I said, send us your fucking deals, please.
Gentlemen.
We need to start using these services, and there's a lot more other services too. But just send them in.
Right.
Send them in.
You guys need cold calling as well? You're tired of that shit? Just hit us up after. Damien, can you do a little recap on your progress? How's it going, brother?
Can you hear me?
Got you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yo, Valentino, that was some fire ass shit, bro.
You already know.
That whole scenario, I was taking down notes. So I was like,
It's
damn,
recorded. I'll post it.
that was some crazy shit. Like just right off the bat, off the dome, dude. That was
Off the bat, bro. I'm I'm already used to being on the spot, bro. Trust.
you were like,
Let's get
yeah.
it.
So what have you done in this business? Like questioning the logic. That was good. That was really good. So
That's the level we need you guys at. Okay, give us a recap, bro. What's up?
yeah. So the recap I got right now is right now I was talking to I talked to Nancy earlier this week. Well, I think a day or two ago. I was just telling him pretty much I'm in the process of firing my board. I'm gonna get some new board members. So I'm gonna be getting a new CFO, a new CPA, a new industry expert because my industry expert wasn't on our board meeting for our call. He was in Africa, so he didn't make the time for that. So for the new director that was in place, and he missed that, and he still hasn't even watched the video when he said he was going to about our board meeting because I recorded it for him. So he didn't look at that. So I'm getting rid of him, getting rid of my CPA because I just didn't like his shit that he's been doing. So I'm getting rid of him. My attorney's been more cooperative, so he's on hot water right now. I've told him, but I'm probably going to be looking at others. Right, my corporate attorney basically, and also I've told my director about what type of fund we're doing and all the security attorneys we've been talking to. Right now, I'm wrapping up the security attorneys who I'm going to be filing for our fund paperwork. So we're going to be doing a 506C Reg D 3C1 exemption. But two of the attorneys have been some of the top candidates. We've interviewed about 8. We have 2 more this upcoming week. One of the attorneys, he worked at a very big firm out here locally in Dallas for about 15 years. So he's done a few securities filings as well and PPMs and all that. So he has a good track record. And then another one that we worked with, he was a referral. And he actually used to be a senior counsel with the SEC. And he's also he has about 10 years experience in doing security filings. So
Hey,
that's
bro,
kind of,
young Wall Street over here. I hear you. Let's get it, bro. Fund manager.
Let's go.
So we might end up doing that. I was impressed because I didn't have the time to look at his research on him. Then I did. I actually went on his LinkedIn because I hadn't seen it yet, and I was like, holy shit! I was like senior counsel with the Securities and Exchange Commission. He was on before.
Holy shit!
And he was around
I
the same
forgot
time as
the
other guy.
SEC on his board. Okay.
So I was like, man, this guy's got to be our top candidate most likely because he's giving a lot of good advice. The only thing I had though is because I was gonna ask you or Ansley this is that guy. So him and his associate, they were saying it was a little bit more, but I already talked to my director about it. He was fine. He said timeline would be about 3 weeks for them to do everything, the filing for us, but he would need his price range was on 50 on average for all the stuff we were talking about, 50,000. But he said he can do it at a discount if we are needing him and his team later down the line for extra counsel, outside counsel relating towards the fund. I was wondering what you guys might think his intentions are for that, or what he's trying to do, or if that's a good route of going.
Hey, so my connection kind of broke up a little bit. I only heard like maybe half of that. Sorry about that.
half of the end or half of the whole thing?
Yeah, half of the whole thing. It was
It's
choppy.
it's all right. So I was just basically saying the attorney that we're looking at that was on the senior counsel with the SEC, one of the top candidates. He told me on a call when we were trying to figure out a quote in their timeline. He said it would take about 3 to 4 weeks to do the whole fund paperwork. It would take like on average about 50 for the whole thing is what he's seen on average. But he was telling me that they could be able to do it for a discount or a lower rate because on the back end, he wanted to know if we were just looking to do a one-off fund filing paperwork or for having them as outside counsel for the fund as we go to build a longer relationship. I was wondering what your guys' insight on what his relationship or what his intentions are on that, and if it's a good idea to do something like that.
No. Well, that's just the basic sales shit right there. Hey, you're just doing one fund. Oh, you're doing more? Let us be your guy, your go-to. That's just basically what he's saying. What he's saying. There's nothing real spectacular there. Me personally, with that type of shit, I would consult my attorney because he's the fucking filing expert. I would consult my attorney on that one. But me personally, nah. This is just a one-off thing, man. We don't need your counsel like that. We have inside counsel. That's why you're looking for a in-house attorney. You don't need to be charged all that extra stupid price for nothing. No. You're gonna do this one thing. After you're done with that, if we consider doing something else in the future, maybe. But I doubt we're gonna go with you. I promise. Okay, understand this. The people you're doing business with right now on this level will not be people you do business with after you close your first deal, second deal, third deal moving forward. It's not, it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have the track record yet. Yes, you're pulling in people, we're doing great. That being said, it's worlds apart after you close 2, 3 acquisitions. You're not really begging anyone for anything. You're just calling a law firm. This is who we are. This is what we want to do. Okay, done. But these guys, you're not really going to need them, and you're going to need higher level of counsel. I promise you. You're going to be talking to firms. It's a 50K retainer. All right, let's go. But I wouldn't move forward with him, me personally, just because I don't need lower level people coming up with me to the top. It's weird. There's people for that. Just like there's different levels of CEO that you will need to bring in your business, your endeavor. Right now, you need a visionary. I've said this last week. You're gonna need a grower, and you're gonna need, the guy that's gonna keep it from dying. Same thing. But you don't need same thing with these professionals. You don't need to keep this guy around. That's basically what his intentions are. That's what I see from my experience. Anybody who's ever said that, that's what it leads to. Because the people who really are interested, they're going to be like, all right, this is what we can do. We could do it like this for this. Hey, let's work on it. When we get there, let's figure it out. People who are like, hey, what is this? Is this a one-off thing? Or are you going to be doing multiple? If so, let us be your go-to guy. Fuck you, guy. That's my take on it, dude, from my experience with people coming with that approach.
Anzi knows what's up, man.
Yeah, I mean, you have inside counsel. Why would you need it? Just wait till we speak to my SEC attorney, my M&A attorney. I'm sorry, my corporate attorney, SEC corporate attorney. But I promise you won't need outside counsel. Once the fund is done, it's done. What he said, how long it would take? 4 weeks to file the paperwork, right? That sounds about correct.
Yeah, about
Sounds about
3
correct.
to 3 to 4 weeks. He wasn't able to give me a retainer because he needed to get with his billing for that. He told me on average of what.
Was he a partner?
Yeah, he was a partner, and
Okay.
then he had the associate made the introduction because I had gotten a referral from an investment banker that forwarded me over to him, and then the associate said, "Hey, here's my partner on the phone," and I talked to the partner on the call. I'm not dealing with any fucking associates. Basically,
Nah,
a
fuck
fucking
that noise. Listen
palm
to me.
scum. Bottom of your shoe, man.
Hey, look, always remember this. Even at this stage, it's cheaper to rent. My CEO told me this. He was like, dude, you're bringing in all these people, all this, da da da. You could just rent these guys. What I'm saying is, and I said this before, certain deals you engage, you're going to need certain level of expertise. So that's why I don't have just a set industry expert per se. But you might need to rent a, SEC attorney. That's going to be way cheaper than this guy trying to charge you whatever the fuck he's charging. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I need you to come in, just for this one task, I'm gonna pay you my maybe 3K, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? You just need one little. Hey, can you make sure these, whatever it is, filings, legalese, whatever the case is, how many hours? Oh, you're just gonna spend 5 hours on that? All right, here, done. I don't need to retain a firm moving forward and spending money I don't need. I mean, I'm not gonna use with this firm, but it's easy or it's cheaper to rent. Always remember that. Any level of people you need, any level, you can always rent them, and it's less headache too. So don't get stuck in a contract with a firm you don't really know anything about, you don't have any experience with, and it's just not smart. That's just not something I would do. Again, I have my in-house team. If they can't handle it, let's hire somebody. Done. Okay, so look, let's get to who's left. Fred Fox.
Damien.
Oh, wait. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Yeah, Damien. Fred. I'm glad Fred is on right now. I hope he's on right now because like I mentioned to you a couple of days ago, he had I think yesterday or whatever, he had a couple questions pertaining to the fund. I mean, in fact, if anybody on here want to ask you a few questions about not the fund per se, but how you got your partner to come in and say yes, basically.
Yo, real quick, Fred, are you there, bro?
Yeah, he said he had family coming over, so he's probably with them.
All right, cool. Probably just listening in. Yo, Damien, you hear me, brother? Damien. Looks like everybody's having connection problems. So, guys, Mark, Josh, Jamil, Fred, or Damien, you guys got any questions regarding what Ansi said? Fund, capital partner?
I guess just one. Yeah. That's why I actually messaged Anzi as to, they were when I was interviewing M&A directors as to where the funding is going to be coming from. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to pitch investors before I ever done my deal.
Oh, no, that's
So,
simple.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was.
extremely simple. That's so. Yeah, they're basically like, "Hey, kid, your idea sounds great and all, but where's the fucking money?" That's basically what they're
Yeah,
asking, right?
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Um, wait, don't we have videos on that, Valentino? I thought
Yeah,
we did.
we got a couple weekly strategy calls on that. I'm gonna have to circle back on that.
But yeah, dude, like the money's coming from investors. It depends on your strategy. Um, but see, this is where your attorney comes in, like your corporate attorney and shit like that. Because when you speak to them, you say, "Hey, what's the best way for me to retain the most amount of equity in the company control?" But to put it plainly, you could either do a fund. There's various ways of getting money from investors. You could either do a fund and get a subscription, a syndication. That's another route you can go. Obviously, banks, and then other investors to come in and close the gap. But the thing is, these guys already know about that shit. They're just giving you a hard time. I swear, they want to know that you know your shit, basically.
Yeah, and just for the response I've been giving currently, I was just saying, yes, I have been interviewing banks, but they said to contact them back until I present to them a deal or a signed LOI.
Yeah, but see, yeah, but the way I approach those guys, I'm not gonna lie, I I was extremely like arrogant with them when I'm like, hey, listen, money is not an issue. The reason why is because, dude, I've done $93 million fucking deals without any money. I've worked with firms that I see how this shit work. I know how it works. Look, money's not the issue. In fact, there's so many investors out there wanting to make a good investment, wanting to put their money into a good investment. It's not the money that's the issue. It's the fucking deal. You know what I'm saying? It's the deal. Finding a great, a great fucking deal you could execute. That's the issue. I tell them, hey, listen, money's not there's no issue in getting the money. You know that. I know that. Let's not play these, games. What we need to find is a great deal. Now, that being said, if you could make introductions to this firm, that firm, bring us deal flow, all that shit. That was back then. You know what I'm saying? That was back then. But that's what I say to anybody who asks about fucking money. It's not an issue. There's no shortage of fucking money. What do you mean? It's just about having the team that's seems like they know what they're doing to sway these guys to say, all right, I'll give you the money. I'll put the money in your hands because I trust your team. You don't have any experience in this? Great. I trust your team because you're at least able to pull, a team together. I mean, beyond that, you're going to have to sell it, whatever value add you have yourself personally, but other than that, dude, money's not an issue at all. They can go fuck off with that.
Remember this, guys. There's more money going around than sound investments are.
Nah, 100%. 100%.
Mark, the script I gave you yesterday on the call, that'll help you. Very simple, concise. Guys, any last questions before we kill it? Also, we're going to have a live stream at 2:30 p.m. EST. We're going to bring on Samuel Liss, a.k.a. Captain America, on stock investing and stock valuations. This dude has a really great portfolio and an MBA in finance. So that's going to be
Is that today?
Yeah, today.
Yes.
We
Fred,
recorded
you there?
by chance?
We're going live, 2:30 p.m.
Yeah, we're
You
going
won't be
live.
recording it?
Hey, Fred, did you have any questions for Damien while he's on?
No, I'm going to catch up with him another time. I mean, he was super
Okay.
helpful to me yesterday, but I'm going to be leaning on you, my brother, for
right,
for that. So.
Hey, Fred, were you
I
able to
saw-
hear the strategy call?
Yeah, I was here throughout. My brother was here with his family, so I couldn't
Oh,
jump on it. Still
Were you able to get
I have-
information from it?
Yeah, but I got to hit that recording because it gets super clear on everything.
Perfect, bro. Let's get you set up. Let's get that farm ready, man. Damien's
I have,
already on it. You got to go next, bro.
Hey, Damien, you have something to say?
Yeah, I have one last question. Should I start incorporating the parent company now, or should I wait till I have an LOI when I'm also about to get ready to get the funds?
It depends because my attorney literally advised not only me, but he told the entire fucking board. Literally, he's like, look, there's no reason for you to file right now. Literally no fucking reason. Dude, we were doing a founders round without filing the company. So if my attorney stopped me, he was like, look, I know you're going to file the company. There's no reason to do it. There's absolutely no reason to. In fact, you can operate as a corporation without having to, adhere to the fucking bullshit laws and, indentures where it fucks dumb shit. But you absolutely do not have to. If you want to, sure, of course. But my attorney, he's like, look, I'll take care of that shit. I will file the day before we close the acquisition. He's like, it'll cost about $2,200. Literally, he's done this shit so many times. I was like, well, cool. Cool.
So that should probably be whenever I'm about to close on a deal or I have a solid LOI.
Yes.
Confident.
And think about it. You actually really want to be paying, stupid taxes on a corporation that's not doing anything? Fuck that noise.
Or if I fire board members and
Oh, you're
now
you're
all
liable.
that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, fuck that noise.
Right.
Yeah, man. Oh, all right. Let's
Perfect,
go.
guys. Any
Anybody
last
else?
questions? We're good to go.
I just got an insight. So
Yeah, what's up, bro?
no, I'm still interviewing M&A directors, and some guy said after the call, if you don't think I'm a great fit, I do have someone who's interested. She's working in 20 years of experience in Deloitte, and she's actually looking for an M&A gig. So
There you go.
Hey, listen. No. She's looking for a gig. She's going to expect money. You can't pay her no fucking time soon. No, thank you. Remember, I told you guys, stay away from people who's actively looking for jobs when they come to your board members.
No,
They're going to always, hey, where's the deal?
Hey, Ansi, what do you say? You say, I'm looking for people that are hungry, not starving?
Yes. I need you to be hungry. I don't need you to be fucking about to be put out your house and shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I always say that compensation in the beginning. If they're
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. All right, guys. If we're good, let's kill it here. 2:30 p.m. We're gonna go live. So I'll post a link in the group. Stock valuation, stock investing for anybody who's interested.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
All right,
Peace.
guys. Later.
Let's get it.